has a question during this, feel free to enter it in the chat. And if I see it, I will definitely answer. I'll also be taking questions at the end. So if I miss it, feel free to pipe up at the end and I can answer that for you. Okay, so hello and thank you for joining me today to learn more about accessibility at the ASU library. I am Charisa Deremiah, and I am the ID Senior for e-learning and instruction at the ASU library. My division within the library is responsible for creating and maintaining digital learning objects, as well as providing library instruction to all of ASU. Before I begin, I would like to acknowledge the 23 Native nations that have inhabited this land for centuries. ASU's 4 campuses are located in the Salt River Valley on ancestral territories of Indigenous peoples, including the Akima Odam and Piposh Indian communities, whose care and keeping of these lands allow us to be here today. So thank you. Today, we're going to explore the scope of accessibility services that the library provides. There are, of course, more, I'm almost certain, but for the purpose of this presentation, these are the most common ways that we provide and maintain accessibility for our patrons. The first service we have is our most obvious, and that's the Accessibility Services website. The purpose of ASU Libraries Accessibility Services is to ensure that all of our students, faculty, and staff have access to our library resources and facilities. We offer a variety of library-related services and assistive technology for users with disabilities. Any non-library related services is referred to sales. You can navigate to our accessibility website by going to lib.asu.edu/accessibility. The library offers library orientations and instruction with searching or online databases. We assist with digitizing print materials and remediation of those print materials. And we also provide assistive technology and equipment at all of our library locations. And you can see what's available at what library by navigating to the website. You can also contact us at any time using that information I have there. Next is a product of our web services team, and that is simply maintaining, not simply, it's a large task, but maintaining website accessibility across all of our ASU library web pages. So our web team provides all users access to our library website using WCAG and ASU accessibility standards, while also maintaining the ASU brand and color scheme. They work to remediate existing web content and ensure all new content meets the basic accessibility standards that are outlined by WCAG and the university. The web team has also created a custom Drupal theme with accessibility features in mind for our content creators, as well as managing our theming for third-party vendor platforms. Last, our UX designer, Jordan Cush, who's also a member of this committee, works with accessibility-focused groups, such as this one, to stay up to date on accessibility in higher education. The third service that we provide are the repository and vendor audits. So Keep and Prism are both digital repositories for the library. Keep was launched in fall of 2020 and is home for the preservation of scholarship produced by ASU faculty, staff, and students. Prism is the open ASU library digital collections repository, and it is intended for teaching, learning, and research and scholarship. Both of these repositories underwent an audit over the summer of 2023 to identify and remediate inaccessible items. This process was performed using the Wave accessibility tool, and remediation for the identified issues is set to begin later this month. The next item is managed by another accessibility liaison member, Karen Groden. Karen helps manage our vendor licenses and focuses heavily on accessibility features of each of them. She includes accessibility language in electronic resource licenses, requests and reviews EPATs and ACRs from our vendors. She conducts basic accessibility testing and reports back to the vendors, as well as gathers any remediation plans vendors have to address the inaccessible items. Our next accessibility highlight is our course resource services team. The course resource services team provides 3 key services. As far as accessibility goes, the team ensures accessibility standards are met for all resources that are provided through the library resource organizer. They do this by verifying the accessibility of vendor supplied content and by remediating any digitized materials that were requested. They work to remediate any instructor provided documents, and they supply video captioning and transcript services for our streaming services. The LRO, the course resources team also manages the library resource organizer, or LRO for short. For those of you who are unaware of what this is, here's my shameless plug. I hope you guys take from it and use it because it's an awesome tool. But using the LRO is a way for instructors to ensure that all of our students have access to accessible course materials that are located in one place and available on any device. The LRO integrates our library catalog, enabling instructors to build, maintain, and share customized resource lists directly in their Canvas courses. And materials can easily be added, edited, or deleted from the library catalog, as well as requests, purchase requests for items that we do not have listed in our catalog. And then you can also reach out to them anytime by using that email address I have listed, course resource services asu.edu. And the last service that's provided through the course resource services team is the streaming and copyright. So that also again feeds into accessibility by ensuring our video captioning and transcripts are available for students. Using these videos through the library makes integrating media into your course much easier. It provides a better user experience for our students. Qualified videos can be digitized for streaming, and existing videos can be auto-renewed for next time. And course resource services will also provide a fair use checklist for your reference, as well as consult on any advanced copyright questions or issues. The last is my division, which is ELI, or e-learning and instruction. In my division, our IDs work directly with librarians and university instructors to create digital learning objects. So accessibility is always on the forefront of my mind, especially since joining this accessibility liaison group. And our accessible digital learning objects include tutorials, tip sheets, and library guides. Our tutorials are built using Articulate Rise, and traditionally, Articulate has not always been accessibility friendly. However, Rise 360 does address the basic technical standards that are outlined by WCAG, and I have linked here on the presentation, which I'll be more than happy to share with you, their accessibility conformance report, and it will outline all of the accessibility features that Rise 360 currently has. Our database tip sheets are new to the digital learning objects, and the PDFs can be found on our tutorials website, which I have linked as well. These database tip sheets were created in Canva and were made accessible using Adobe. Each tip sheet was double checked for accessibility by our web communications team at the library. And the library guides contain a wealth of information curated by our ASU librarians. These LibGuides are checked for accessibility and are maintained by our librarians and web services team. The last resource is not listed, but is always my shameless plug. Ask a Librarian is our failsafe. Ask a Librarian can be used anytime patrons have questions, issues, requests that need answers in a timely manner. Our Ask a Lib is a chat and email-based reference service for all ASU students, faculty, and staff in support of research and teaching here at ASU. These services are available 24/7. And one of the best things that I love about working for the library is that we all have a common goal, which is to help our students, faculty, and staff be successful with whatever their goals are. So if you ever have a question about anything library related, accessibility or not, please use Ask a Lib if you're unsure of who to contact at the library. And I promise you, someone will help you and point you in the right direction. That was it. So thank you so much for letting me present to you today. And thank you for everything you do in this university. We truly do appreciate each and every one of you. If you have questions or would like to collaborate or want a copy of this presentation, you can contact me anytime at this email that I have listed, cderemiah@asu.edu. Again, I am Charisa Deremiah, and I am the ID with eLearning and Instruction. We're very happy that you guys invited us to present to you today, and I hope you guys learned something new. Are there any closing comments or unanswered questions before I turn it back over to Kathy?
Thank you. I mean, you just gave us tons and tons of information. I mean, I can't even believe all the things that the library does. It's fabulous. It really is. Does anybody have any questions for Charisa?
I have a question. So if we have accessibility questions that aren't related to what the library does, but are just like we run across accessibility questions all the time when we develop websites, is that something we can reach out to you for as well to see if you have an experience with something that we have a question on?
If it is library related, yes, absolutely.
But not if it's not, then, right?
Right, yeah. If it's not
Okay.
library related, that would be more of a sales question or someone that you have contact with in your department. Our group, accessibility liaisons, Kathy. Yeah, so if it's non-library related, unfortunately, we probably won't be able to help you.
Okay.
But if it is, yes, for sure, reach out.
Okay.
Renee?
Renee, did you have a question?
I'm so sorry. My laptop, I leave it closed because I have my monitors and then you can't hear me when it's closed. So here I am. My question was in relation to your accessibility services, are there any that are usable by alumni?
That is a really good question. Let me, I'm not sure. I'm going to say hopefully yes, because we do service patrons within the university and outside of the university. But I can definitely get an answer for you unless one of our librarians who's in the meeting right now can answer it. Karen, I don't know.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
As I understand it, are you talking about if someone comes into the library, or are you talking about
Alumni?
Yeah, so any alumni really that come in either to the library, or I know there's some things that alumni can access through the website. So I'm just wondering if anything is open to them, if they wanted support with something. Let's say they wanted support in like learning a software or something like that.
Learning a software is usually not through the library. We usually, if someone comes into the library building to get help with, they would be able to access the databases. They could get help at a service desk. But the one thing that I'm thinking of is remote access to databases is not available to alumni, with the exception of a very small subset, which are basically SAGE research methods and other databases from SAGE. And there's a separate page that outlines those, whether those, which ones are available from off campus to alumni. I hope that makes sense.
Well, that was kind of one of my questions too. I was wondering, so if it's, is it everyone that could like use some of these, some of this tech or some of the software that you have available? Like if I'm an alumni or if I'm staff, can I go in and use, you know, try JAWS?
You can. So if you're ASU faculty, student, or staff, you have access. Essentially, if you have an ASU, right, you have access to all of the assistive technology software that we have. And I've shared with you the accessibility services website that we have for ASU library, and it lists here what specific equipment and technology we have, and then the specific library or libraries that contain that specific software technology. As far as software goes, teaching the software, I don't think that is something they can do, because again, they're not experts. They can assist you with you know, accessing and searching our databases such as OneSearch or our other specific databases that students use. But as far as how to use those assistive technologies, I don't know if that would be a librarian that would be able to help you. It would likely be like a student worker that you are asking. So probably not. If there's information, like specific information that you would want to learn, like how to use JAWS, how that would, I would comfortably say probably reach out to sales or someone within our group that has experience with that.
I just put a link to our alumni services page chat.
Oh, great. You guys used to have a Braille printer too, didn't you, at one time? Thought you did.
Yes.
I thought I saw something here.
Yeah, I believe that went away when they closed the actual disability services office that was inside.
Oh, they did? Okay. Yeah. Because I know I wanted to put Braille on my business cards and I wasn't able to, so I had to send them out to do that. But I thought at one time you did have it. I have a question for you about, so if you get, say, a faculty wants to use a book in their class, and you've looked and you can't find an accessible version of it, do you work with publishers at all to try to get them to produce accessible publications?
I think that's a Karen question. Sorry, Karen, I keep putting you on the spot.
So we, like on a one-off item, that wouldn't be something that I would do, but I would, and I do testing and I find, like on one of our video streaming platforms, you couldn't access the volume button with the keyboard. I let them know, let the company know, when they fixed it within a week. I'm very happy with them. But for like specific one single item, we usually have something in our license that permits us to create an accessible version of that. So we would take the PDF and remediate it, provide it to the user. Would be the general practice.
Publisher provides an accessible version to you?
I'm sorry, say it again.
The publisher provides an accessible version to you. Somewhat?
Not always. I mean, we try to get them.
Mhm.
They're like, if you go to ProQuest eBook Central, they have an accessible version of their books available. You just have to know how to get to them.
Yeah.
So it depends a lot on the publisher and what they have available, but we don't usually reach out for a single. At least I haven't experienced that we have, because the questions that come into our accessibility web email don't come to me. Somebody else takes care of those usually. But I would work on larger issues with platform accessibility and document accessibility overall.
I see.
And we do have a whole group. Sam is actually here today. He's part of our course resource services team. And he and his team work very closely with, instructors, instructional designers, others, to make inaccessible items accessible. Sam, I don't know if you have anything to add or.
Sure. Yeah, most of what we're doing is generally any like print books that instructors have requested portions of in their course. We can scan and remediate those PDFs to be accessible. We obviously also do have copyright standards and regards to keep in mind as well. So generally, it's not going to be like whole books, but we can do a couple chapters, depending on what the instructor needs. And we'll anything print, we'll scan, we process, make it accessible for like screen readers, and then post it up on the library resource organizer for students to access.
So that's published material.
Correct. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I know that we get lots of requests of, especially from instructional designers, saying this professor has, like 50 PDFs and he's created them from Microsoft Word, and none of them are accessible. You don't work with self-created documents.
No, nothing that's instructor created like that. It's got to be something that we lawfully acquire and own, and so that's going to be like published material.
Okay.
Also, we're a 4-person setup here. That would I think really flood us with a lot of items.
Yeah.
And that's news to me, Sam. So thank you for sharing that. I feel like I always learn something new about the course resources team whenever I present. Okay, so that I didn't know that. I thought I've always been told as an ID that you guys will remediate instructor created documents, and that's not the case. So that's good news. Good to know.
Yeah. I'm every time I talk to you guys, I learn that you do something new for accessibility. So I'm so happy you're there. You guys do a great job. Does anybody have any other questions? No? I have one more question. What kind of training do you provide for library employees? Do you guys do that? Do you train your people?
For accessibility?
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say, and if you, Karen or Sam, you guys have other information, I wouldn't say that we necessarily train our employees with accessibility unless they're going to be doing something specific with accessibility. So like we have student workers that work overnight through interlibrary loan department, and they work on making digitized materials accessible. So if there's a student who is requesting a chapter of a book, for example, to be digitized, they will do that and remediate that to make that accessible for that student. But just our new librarians coming in and student workers coming in, as far as I know, they don't get any specific accessibility training.
Maybe that's something that we can all talk about. Actually, for everyone on campus at the university. I'd like to see.
Right. Yeah, I promote, we have an internal library accessibility services Slack channel, and one devoted to cultural inclusion and disability. And anytime I come across anything, I post it there. So we have a small, maybe not small, it's probably big, a cadre of people in the library who are very interested in learning as they can about accessibility. So, and a matter of fact, during this meeting, I got a Slack from a librarian showing me a book he had just ordered on techno-ableism. So
Very cool. That's great. Well, thank you so very much, you guys, for taking the time to come and share with us everything that you do. I think that really helps us when we go out there and then we're working with faculty, we're working with staff or alumni, and letting them know what's available to them. So thank you so very much. If you want to share your slides with me, I will post those on the website.
All right, we'll do. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. So I guess, does anybody have anything they would like to talk about before we go to the drawing? It's quiet today. Did everybody have just a really busy month so far? Yeah. I see Kara nodding yes. Okay, well, we can go. Let's do our let me see if I can find the page here. All right, we're going to do a drawing. Again, this is for WebAIM's Accessible Documents course. I think it's 4 or 5 sessions, and it's self-paced. So it's online. You can sign up, and with the code that we're going to give you, and you just take the course whenever you can. I think it's like $125 or 100. I don't know. It's something like that. So it's really nice of WebAIM to gift us these. They donated them. All right, guys. So you have to be present to win. So there's not a whole lot of us in here. So let's see if we get. Jordan? Is Jordan here today? I didn't see her at some earlier meetings, so okay.
She's out actually.
I think she won one another month, so. Jeanette Seneca? No? Okay, we're gonna keep trying. Hope it doesn't take us forever. Mel Flores. Mel, are you with us? No? Okay. Tanya Amos? Oh, for heaven's sakes. Okay. Keep trying. I'm so sorry, guys. We could be here all day. Joseph Axel.
He's on.
You are?
I'm here. Yes.
All right.
This is awesome. Thank you, Kathy.
Yay.
I'm Joe Axel. I'm at Global Launch. We teach English to international students who matriculate into ASU. I'm a teacher trainer. I'm usually here with Wanda Huber. I don't think she's here right now, but thank you so much. I love it.
You're very welcome. And I'll send you the code and the information for the class.
Okay. Thank you,
Yeah,
Kathy.
enjoy. It
Cool.
was a good class. I took it a few years ago. really, I learned a lot.
Awesome.
Very
Thank
cool.
you.
All right, Joe. Thanks. So I know that we're ending, it's pretty short today. If you need to run, go ahead. If not, why don't we stay on, and anybody who wants to discuss, just open discussion, turn on your video and unmute and we can talk. I am going to stop recording. And just say, tell us what's on your mind.
Hey, Kathy, this is Sherry. I know that I brought this up in an accessibility channel about dark mode.
Yeah.
The reason I brought it up is because we're developing an application and we can only initially do one dark mode option. So I'm wondering